Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with episode 44, Campaign 2, Talks Machina, the Diver's Grave. Last we saw, we had basically, I'd say a good quarter of the episode was fighting Dashilla. Reminded me of the Haunted Mansion from Disney World, where ghosts were just kind of coming into the scene. And Dashilla is up in the corner. Reminded me of Hereditary or some creepy creature just crawling around. We end up fighting her. We're going to talk about it now. I did not see who the guests are. I went right to the end card. I did not see who is joining us. Who do I think would join us? I don't know, honestly. I guess anybody. I mean, Travis would make the most sense, being as he just absorbed his second orb. That was the big thing at the end, besides fighting Dashilla and finding a graveyard of ships. And then we find out as we're pulling away, this giant hurricane thing forms because we were using our blood to form some sort of ritual. And had we continued, we would have lost our ship and been stranded in the middle of nowhere. So at least that didn't happen. We're on our way, but I would imagine Travis is with us probably. I mean, anybody else would really fit. Let's just jump in. I want to see, you guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Person of Interest, the Patreon hour exclusive of every episode of this. We're about to start The Last of Us in a couple weeks. And Vox Machina Season 2, along with a bunch of other stuff. Check it out. If not, episode 44, Talks Machina. Do we have no volume? Oh, we have no volume. There was no volume.
All right, guys, we have some crit roll stats for episode 44. Now, Vinny, this will be on my iPad here, so you can take a break for a few minutes while my thumb does the work.
Sharpening
Who is it? We have some crit roll stats, courtesy of our friends at Crit Roll Stats.
Yeah, what do you got?
This episode is tied for second most D20 rolls in an episode of Campaign 2. Tied with episode 22, which had 166.
Ooh.
Most D20
that sounded
rolls
like Travis.
were in episode 39, 178. Wow. So 39 had 178 in it. That's crazy.
Wow.
I feel
Let's
like
see.
the last episode and the one before were pretty baller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of just lucky shit happened at the
We got
time.
Talesin.
Yeah, finally.
Look at that.
Finally,
it's
yeah.
not Travis. I thought I heard Travis's voice.
Caduceus, played
We got
brilliantly by
Talesin.
you,
I love
Talesin
it.
Jaffe, since the other guy died.
Yeah.
Caduceus continues to... Was that a spoiler? Caduceus...
Deal with you.
Wow, it's going to that.
Caduceus continues to have the lowest nat 20 rate of the Mighty Nine.
The lowest nat 20
currently
rate.
at
1.
a whopping 2.7%.
2.7%.
That's pretty low.
20s. Nat 20s.
That was like my kill to death ratio on the stream I did with Travis
That was
earlier.
pretty spectacular to watch.
That was fun. That'll be on our
2.7.
YouTube
Oh my God,
pretty
not
soon
even
here,
3%.
tomorrow, the next day.
That's
36 hours.
That's
36
like
hours.
one out of
How did you
every...
fare?
I did okay. Now Travis
A
is
lot.
he's a
One out of every
sneaky giant. He
rolls a nat 20.
obliterated me more than
That's
15
rough.
times. But I held my own a couple of times, and it made for some great hilarity. I would love to make that a regular thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, you're definitely stretching the definition of holding your own, but it was a...
Sure, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Lowest nat 20 rate of the Mighty Nine. All right.
That's what you mean to
Hey,
us.
but you know what? To balance that out, man,
The funny
you've
thing,
also
though,
got
is-
the lowest nat 1 rate, which is 1.08%.
Whoa.
Which is
negligible.
currently Liam's blood alcohol content. Based on the damage Ford and Caleb took for
That's hardly
Dashilla's-
anything. That's like 1.8%.
Dashilla?
Dashilla.
Blood
Got
alcohol
it.
would mean you
Hungry
had
eye.
like
Yeah, Dashilla's hungry eye. I
maybe
ate there
half
on
a
the way
beer.
back from-
maybe a half a beer.
Based on the damage Ford and Caleb took for
2
Dashilla's
full
ritual,
beers
it can be
is around
estimated
6 to
that it takes
8%.
about 40 to 50 HP worth of
0.00.
blood
Yeah.
to summon a hurricane.
We didn't even
About one regular dude.
Do you know how many hit points I had after that ritual?
Tell me.
1.
Stop it.
Travis is
Stop it.
troublemaking is infectious.
I would have had to, like, cast shit through a tiny hole in the wall, and that would have been weird.
Do you have shit prepared?
I do. I mean, like, the great thing about this type of character is, like, I can keep a lot of bad things from happening pretty easily, and often from a distance.
Yeah.
So,
Man, you're turned to undead in the new...
I love a good turn.
I can't believe we
Turned
talked about this now, so it feels
undead.
weird.
Oh,
It's been in the works for a while.
distance.
Yeah, your turn to undead's pretty great. You So
Thoughts?
there was a Reddit thread where
Undead, I
someone
like how he's saying it.
screen capped the young Caleb part, and they were like, "Who is this? I don't recognize who this was." And all these people were like, "Young Caleb."
have
And I wrote,
never heard
That's Gary.
anyone say turnt before Brian.
got a lot
I
of
don't think.
tweets
He
like,
says it
"Who
all
the
the time,
fuck is
obviously.
Gary?"
Every time he ends it.
Like,
spoilers.
Say
Well,
turnt
shit, I
before
already
Friday.
gave
I've
away
never
the way
heard
it's
that
going.
more of Liam's
Yeah, I feel
backstory
like
than
it's
he wanted me
Brian's
to.
Already ruined it for so many people.
Well, we have questions, and I know it's a bit early to get into them at 7:15, but we should
We
go
also
ahead
still
anyway.
got another
Wait,
Christmas
stop.
episode, which
Yeah.
is nice
Look how
because
cute your
Christmas
dog is.
just
I
ended.
know.
It's
Big
actually
boy.
New Year's Eve right
Quiet
now.
and
The
like,
ball
he's
drops
sleepy
in
now.
less than
Normally
2
he's
hours.
just running all over
I
the
decided to
studio.
do this
How do you
before
feel?
the ball
I take it, I
drops.
bring him early in the day, so he runs and gets all his jollies out during the day, and then you guys just get pure cuteness. You're like in the cute phase. You're not in the tail knocking over everything.
tail.
Yeah, torpedo tail. All right.
Wait, stop.
Yeah. What's up?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that Talesin and I are together on this show a lot?
Yeah, we
I-
are.
I have noticed that.
Did
nothing
notice
to do
that.
with any other cast member scheduling conflicts.
Okay, so we got a text from Sam Riegel that said like,
Yeah.
I'm not coming on till January.
Yeah, also a thing.
Why?
Please don't get me wrong. I'm very happy to be here with Talesin, but I feel like either the show or the community or the universe is trying to tell us something, Talesin.
That might be.
It might be.
I mean, I have a difficult time reading
Whatever you
signals.
guys are thinking about doing, we can't show on Twitch, so we'll have to take it offline.
Really, it's just because you two are my favorites, and I just want to be around
Whatever
you a
you
lot.
guys are thinking.
Ultimately, that's what it comes down to.
Okay.
That's
I
fair.
mean,
I
they're not my
honestly,
favorites.
the second
I
I
don't
saw
have
them, I'm like, I feel like we see them together a lot. I
She's
even
putting
think
us in
I've
the
said it
together, man.
She's
in the
lying
last
over her
episode.
laptop,
There was
ladies
an
and
episode
gentlemen.
recently
It
where I
soon has
think
a
I
question
said,
for both of you, and
I
that's
feel like
what were your
I
initial thoughts?
don't see them often, but when we do, they're
15
always
minutes in.
Talk
together.
about theory, answer the question.
I feel like I
What were
did,
your
but I'm
initial
not
thoughts
sure.
and
But
reactions
either
when
way,
you
I
watched
was
the new
thinking the
intro?
same
So a
thing.
lot of people don't know. We kept this a secret from you guys.
Yeah, we got to see it early.
Yeah, we did get to see it a little early because there was still one more. They were still tweaking some stuff.
It's been a long road. Travis and Sam have kind of been lording over this project. We knew they were working on it, but we didn't get to see shit for months. And Travis just kept saying to me, like, hope, when you see, everybody has a moment, when you see your moment, and
He would send like I would get like texts and like very late at night
Talking
going,
about
like,
the new
what would
intro.
this look like, or like okay, if you were using this power, what would it do,
whatever it was.
or how would you, or like weird character questions.
How would you visualize that thing?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm
I had to
like,
describe haircuts for my fellow students
Whoa.
from back in the day, which I knew very well.
I like his
Really?
shirt.
Yeah.
I
Whoa,
dig
but you didn't know what
Liam's
socks you
shirt.
No, I have no idea about the socks, but I've thought about those two
Oh my
students
God,
a lot.
Talison's is
Socks by
Stranger
Afterglow?
Things.
I
Never
will. I'll have a
forget.
bullshit answer.
Cool.
Okay.
But yeah.
You have 12 minutes till after dark to come up with a bullshit answer.
The animated opening is so fucking
It's
amazing.
so good.
We fucking erupted when we saw it.
Look, it's Barb.
We totally lost
That's
it.
a great
yeah.
retro
There's
shirt.
so few things on that short list of things you want to see
Barb
when
is
something
on it. I
like
love
on the rare occasion
Looks
that you
almost
live
like
through
Saved
your
by the
D&D
Bell,
game
but
becoming
that's
a weird thing on the internet.
80s, 90s look.
There's a short list of things that you hope will happen, and seeing them animated is one of them.
Hope that would happen. You didn't even have an idea that would happen. For the longest time as an actor, I was like, oh my God, let me be a Transformer with Optimus Prime and be there. And I'll get hired to play that job and it'll be so cool. And that happened. It was amazing. But this is
This is
fucking
way cooler.
character that I pulled
You
out of my
guys
butt.
made up. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know what that reference
Liam-
is.
Yes.
Gruss
It's a
von
big
Krampus?
butthole. There's
Is
so
that
many
what
more
it is?
characters.
There's just so many more to come.
so many more
Your
characters
butthole is
in
Mary
my-
Poppins'
Vaughn.
purse.
Squeezes one out every.
Krampus?
I mean, it's as
Krampus.
least, it's as at least as wide as what a purple worm can dig.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So many characters in there.
Have you guys ever seen Tremors? All
I love
All right,
Tremors.
all right.
Kevin
Taliesin,
Bacon.
save us from Liam's asshole with an answer to this question from
Impossible.
Jordan Hicks.
Can't be done.
It can't be done.
Liam's butthole is the bottom of the car in Wrist Cutters.
We're talking about some weird things with these
Bring
guys.
it way back.
Come on, baby. I got you. I got you.
I honestly
think
don't know what
Henry
the
did that
reference
one
I
land?
usually
He
catch the
opened his
references.
eyes.
That's one
landed
that
He opened his eyes.
I
He
don't
was
know
like,
about.
If you throw a stick in there, I'll chase it.
I don't know the game they're speaking of.
Taliesin, Jordan Hicks is here with our 50
Do I-
or
I'm
60th
trying to
question
think
of the
what they're
night.
talking about. I heard what he said. I
I don't
just don't
tend
know
to
the
hear
reference.
profanity from Caduceus.
No.
Was you saying "fuck off, Ghost" in character?
No.
Okay.
I was quoting Thor Ragnarok.
You recorded
Hey.
it.
I knew he was.
was.
I remember that.
I was trying to do
exact
because
moment.
I was having a
And I
a
think
Thor
I
Ragnarok,
even
'cause I never got to
commented, like,
use Turn
is
on,
he
I hadn't
saying
gotten to
that?
use Turn Undead yet.
Because
and I
that's
was
not
so,
in Caduceus' character
was
to
so
say that.
happy about it that
Great
I just
moment.
kind of, yeah.
Great moment.
No, that was Taliesin. That was just Taliesin having a
Used
moment.
Turn Undead before.
Not real.
You did
just that one.
Not
there was
to
that
whip
one.
a ghost out of a friend,
That's
though.
true.
Yeah,
that
like
was tight.
I used it for comedic result. I was just
Yeah.
having fun with it before.
Yeah,
I never
that's
really.
true. This was a legit turn undead.
Yeah.
Do you know, I
That's
also
cool.
made a real effort to not swear as Caleb for a long time. I was like, that's a character choice, but eventually my own self just kind of steamrolled over that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and
We are,
Cad will swear. Cad can swear. He's very careful about that, and you know, there's manners. It's
That's
about
what I
manners.
assumed.
Okay.
When he said it, I was
And
like,
maybe
whoa,
he's still new,
either
not
in a
loosened up
place
yet to the group
or
enough
like
to where,
having
you know,
a
when I
time
meet
right
someone
now,
for the
or
first time, I'm not like,
it wasn't conducive.
He's homeschooled, man. He's pretty.
Takes to the
you know,
second meeting for you.
takes for the second meeting for me to be like,
you know, it takes a while for the homeschool kid to like start really picking up the bad habits of once he's out.
How
out in the
long
world.
was Cad alone at that place, roughly?
Not long alone.
Okay.
Just maybe. God, I would
yeah,
say.
we talked about it when you first
We
came up, but I
did.
don't
Yeah,
remember.
didn't we talk
it was-
about I
mean,
feel like it was a
it was maybe I think a couple of years tops.
Yeah,
I
a
don't
couple
know if he
years.
entirely
I
knows
feel like
how
is
long,
what he
but
said.
it was definitely.
It wasn't less than a year. I feel
me
like
a
it
long
was
De Niro face.
around. I could have
That's a long
sworn he was
time. That's
saying
a
a
long
couple
time.
years, maybe 3 years. But that's like
Okay,
Liam
never
just
mind, I
said.
have some
That's a
other
long
questions, but
time.
well, let's talk about this
Imagine
episode.
having
I gotta remember what I
no
said back in the day.
interaction. Like we even
Yes, you
have
do.
social
Yeah, look that
media,
up.
we have
Clockwork
technology.
Jack, Liam,
Imagine having
how did Caleb
no
feel in an
outlet
environment where
to
any
the
fire
human
spells
world
would
for
be at a
3 straight
disadvantage?
years?
Perhaps a
I
strange
think
feeling
you'd
of
lose
missing
your
something
shit.
so reliable or a good change of pace.
Or
not
at
a good
least
change of pace. He was
not
very conscious of
be
it.
confrontational.
Knowing that they were going to go on an undersea dive, he prepared other spells besides that. He had no fire prepared. He had acid arrow prepared. He had magic missiles
Milf's
prepared.
acid arrow?
Yeah, Milf's acid arrows.
Milf's acid arrow.
Yep,
Milf's
yep.
acid arrow.
Straight from the MILF.
That's
Clockwork
Spells of
Jack.
Luca, yeah.
Torso.
So he was very conscious about it. He was very calculated in saying, I'm going into something that is not conducive to my my strengths, my skill set. So it's fine. It's no big deal. You just have to bring the right tools for the job.
What school are you again?
Well, I went to Catholic school for 14 years.
Here we go.
Then I went to the Tisch School of the Arts to be an actor.
I interviewed you for
sped it
six
through
and a
3
half
years.
hours, feet from here. I know all that. What school did you choose at level?
Transmutation, although
That's right.
that's
Substitutionary locomotion.
Caleb is homeschooled as well, except he's the teacher and the student. So
Yes,
in
yes.
the later years, he's
Transmutation.
transmutation. In the earlier years, excuse me, he was more pushed towards evocation
Okay.
Hot.
All right.
and broke away from that.
Danny says hot. We all
Hot.
look
Oh, is that what she
surprised.
said?
It is hot
I
in
thought
the
she
studio.
said not.
It is hot
I
in
couldn't
here,
hear what she
goddammit,
said.
Vinny. Does that iPad turn on the air conditioning, or does it just run this thing all shitty?
Teleprompter runs at 500 degrees.
Oh, the teleprompter is what's omitting the heat. Another reason why we should keep it. Keep ourselves warm. For both of you from Pathos Vignettes, how spooked were you by Matt's DMing in the tunnels before Deshalia?
Nope.
We'll get there. That was creepy AF.
Deshilla.
Yeah, it was
Deshalia.
It was nice. I've been
Shut up.
looking forward to this. In the
I'm
previous
not
campaign I
making
played with him,
fun
he got
because
into a
you
little
guys
bit
had
of
to
this
tell
kind
me
of
a
stuff.
couple times.
I'll miss this. It's
Cool.
good.
I don't know if I
Although
ever
will say
said
we know Travis
Deshalia.
real well, so mostly I was just going.
I think I
staring
said
at Travis
Dashula.
because
to see how he reacted to it.
And-
Yeah.
That's all
I think
I
I
want.
said Deshilla.
Yeah, he starts to
with-
get the sweats.
Like that was one of my
He
options.
starts to get the meat sweats.
It's so weird. He's
But
so,
I think Dashila
if you've
was
met
one
him,
of
he's
them.
very large.
Yeah.
Like he's quite strong, right? I wouldn't start a fight with him.
Probably not.
He would beat me into a pulp in less than 8 seconds, I think.
Right.
But he is legitimately scared of many, 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 many things.
He is.
Particularly The Ring and anything like The Ring.
The Ring movie,
Just put that right out there into the internet. too.
anything that
Yeah.
Katherine Heigl was in will put him into a
Yeah,
state.
you definitely do not want to tweet pictures of the
No.
scraggly-haired woman from
No,
The
do
Ring at
not
Travis.
tweet.
Do not
There's
do
a
that.
lot of gifs out there that I have seen, guys.
Never come on Twitter again.
There's a lot of gifs that I've seen from The Ring on Twitter.
I do
It's got to
not-
be
I do not
100.
think about
I
the
do
fact
not
that
want to
I
get
know
online tonight
there is a friend
and
of
see that
I've
you
heard
have
you talk
all
about
tweeted at Willingblam
Willing
gifs of The
Blam.
Ring.
Beg her to do me a
I
favor
like
one of
that.
these days.
And
Have we seen that before? Willing Blam? It's got to be
Travis
on
and
his
Laura have
thing all the
ghost
time.
stories in their lives
Because
too.
they always
I'm
give
not
their
gonna
like
elaborate
ads.
on them, but
I
they
don't think
are
I've ever
ghosts
noticed
in their
it
lives.
saying
That's them
They have-
pranking each other in the middle of the night. They don't do it so much more now that they have a kid, but
Yeah.
that's them prank. Trust me, I know.
Maybe it's time.
They are big pranksters. Do you think they'll prank their kid as hard as they've tried
God,
to
I
prank
hope
us?
so.
I hope their
I
kid
think
starts
they
pranking
would.
them.
I hope
I
so.
hope
I
it
would
starts
totally.
just like,
I would
Travis
totally play
lifting up,
pranks
we
on
just
my
start
kid.
shitting all over the.
Real effort into messing with someone in a long time. I feel like I've lost an edge
don't
of
have
some time.
to,
Maybe it's time to
but
go
if I
everyone's
did-
So litigious
I'd prank
these
him.
days too.
Right.
You have to wonder about, yeah. Well, guys, it's. Wait, what is this? Okay, this was not on my list last night. This one's from @VoiceOfO'Brien. Brian, when you stare into the mirror, what stares back? The devastating amount of debt that I owe to 23 different countries. How many countries are there? Are there more than 23, Daniel?
No.
Okay. Debt to all 23 countries.
There are definitely.
Best answer.
There's definitely got to be more.
sharp, dude.
Oh, I know. It's like we don't even need Max anymore.
There's
Brian,
definitely
Did you make
more
these
than
jokes when I
23
was gone
countries.
that one night about
There's
not
like
needing me anymore?
way
You
more.
were here. One of you. Wait.
Here.
We're looking it
Both
up,
of
'cause
you
I'm
were
curious.
here.
We are. I mean, like,
Wait, that was like a
we
while
are the
ago.
ghosts of Christmas past and future.
You are.
we live here.
That was a great episode that Danny did.
They weren't jokes.
195.
Did you know you can edit the
Of
script
course there are.
right
I'm
on
assuming
that
Brian
iPad?
was joking.
Did you
I
do
could
that
name
while I was
at
walking
least 40
Henry?
or 50.
Carno Lesbian wants to know,
mean, I could probably
Talesin.
80%.
I'm glad my Twitter isn't signed in on here. Talesin, why is it so important to Caduceus to always make sure he explains the party's presence to the local plant life?
Manners are important. And I'll actually say that came from a guy I used to know years ago who was a Buddhist monk living in Pasadena, and he was.
Well, there's Mount Baldy.
Yeah, I don't remember. Like, I was too young to really have a full understanding of exactly what his connection to anything out there was, other than he was the only guy who had an electric car in early 2000. It was a golf cart, but that was pretty cool at the time, and he was a collector of like cool optical things. So he was like in our group of people, and he had a habit of
I
just
think
kind
that
of
might be one of the
graciously
biggest
asking permission before he
question
ate anything. He was
askers
a
in
vegetarian.
all
He
of
would
Talks
ask his, he would
Machina.
he would ask permission.
I think
of
I've
his
seen
meal,
that
and I
name
remember
more
that
than any other name.
sticking with me is kind of interesting, and I
You would
and I
bring the
stole
meal
it.
to him
Carnot
and he would ask
lesbian.
you if he could eat it?
No, I mean, like, you would put food in front of him, and he would
But
have this
we've
quiet
talked about
moment.
it
I'm
many
like, are you praying?
times.
It's like, no, I'm
Danny
just
says
asking
it-
for. I'm like
I think it's
thanking the
carnate-
plants, and I'm asking permission,
carnate
explaining what I'm
lesbian.
going to do, and
She
you know,
says it very
putting myself
differently.
into this.
And I didn't hear how Brian said
Sounds
it
like
this
he was
time.
acknowledging their place
Yeah.
in the chain.
Yeah, the plant is a living
And I really,
thing.
I dug that. I always found that really, just. I found it very warm. I liked
Very
it.
tender.
Yeah, yeah. He was a nice guy.
I enjoy that you pluck these little eccentricities out of these amazing people you've known your whole life.
Yeah,
and
I mean, like,
plant
I
those
don't
into your
know
characters.
if you do this, but like, everything is it's never like a one-on-one thing, but there's always just a mash of friends of mine who kind of end up in a big, and little bits of me too, but like.
I don't know if that's true for Vax, but it's very true for Caleb. That
Yeah.
Yeah,
Caleb
which
has
childhood
made.
friend did you burn down, Liam, that inspired?
Well, his name was Billy.
Billy.
And, but I don't know. Vax was started out as very shallow and sort of filled out over time. But with Caleb, I had a lot of different influences that sort of percolated together. I just didn't know crazy people or magic
Right.
people like you knew.
Yeah.
Mine were more mundane, like my cat and my tendency for arson.
Right, right, yeah. Danny, no offense taken by you for him saying that Vax started out as shallow. Does that
No,
seem
that's
like?
totally started out as shallow.
I mean, just as a not his character, but my understanding of him was
Right,
just
right,
like
right.
I'm a rogue in the home game, and that's
was the
being
archetype.
facetious. Yeah, they were big archetypes.
We didn't know how to play the game. You didn't know how the build was happening.
Yeah,
This was
yeah.
how you start, and like they layer.
Momentum over time.
Vax started out as only caring about himself and his sister.
Yeah.
That's kind of shallow.
Yeah, but
And then
reverse,
he grew- and then-
reverse that order, and yeah.
Bolero,
Yeah,
man.
exactly,
Yeah.
It's mother.
I wouldn't
motherfucking
say
bolero.
that's
Bolero.
shallow.
It's just you have a
Caring
theme,
about
and then
you and
slowly it
your
gets more
sister.
complex, and it's still the same thing.
Above
It's
You
just,
have
all
to
others.
grow.
That's right.
You hit
I wouldn't
level
say
20
that's
and if
shallow.
you're not. If
I know
you
what
haven't grown,
Shallow
you
is
do.
like.
I know what bolero
I
means.
feel like
Prove to me you
that's
do.
totally
the piece of music that is the.
I know. Guys, we should actually give away
That's
some.
like a tie. That's like two strings.
It's the one that's the
It might be.
down from like a medallion.
The bolero.
It might
yeah.
be
The bowl-
considered
or
selfish.
rama.
I don't even consider
Guys,
it
we should give
selfish
away some
because
free shit real fast.
Caring above
Our first
about
giveaway tonight is
yourself
honoring
and
your
your
epic
family
gift making
above
skills.
others
It's time for gift of the week.
isn't selfish. It's like it's
Give of the
life.
week.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah.
Give up
Our
the
winner
week.
for campaign 2, episode 44. Here we go, Vinny. Was sent in by Jonas
Go for it.
Tintinsayer. That's good.
Sure.
Tintin Sayer. I want to see what it looks like.
Jonas
Tintin
didn't send in a at
Tintin
Jonas Tintenseher.
You know, that might be German. It might be Tintensea.
Tintenseher.
Yeah, yeah, might
Tintin
be.
Sayer.
Could be.
Tintin
Zea
Sayer.
sounds very German.
Tintenseher. Let's take a look.
Let's see what it looks like spelling. Tintin Sayer.
This is so good.
I can see that. Tintin Sayer.
So this is a bit of what they call a flashback. That's why it's in black and white. This is not from Thursday's episode. However, as we see, it all ties together.
Oh my God! Oh wow! Is that foreshadowing?
Do you remember that?
Now I do.
I
Holy.
do.
Yes!
Yes!
Ghost puncher, puncher of ghosts. My fists
So
are magical.
good.
Ghost puncher, puncher of ghosts. Her fists are magical.
That's great.
That's one of the best gifts of the show.
That-
isn't it?
I dig that
I
one.
agree.
That was good.
I agree.
Spectacular. Holy shit.
That was.
Congrats
I feel
to
like
you,
there's
Jonas.
a lot
Mike's your
more
last
going
name,
into that
for
one.
your
than I
sake.
thought.
Tintensea. Tintensea.
Tintenseher.
Tintin
You have
Sayer.
won this
Ghosts.
Tusk Love
Lover of
notebook.
Tusk.
Lover of Tusk. Available
it.
now at shop.critroll.com.
Tusk Love
It's so hot right now.
notebook.
Yeah.
Matilda
doesn't want a little
Mercer.
bit of
Is that
Tusk?
Matilda Mercer?
Who doesn't
can't
want
see.
just the
Merce.
tiniest bit of Tusk inside themselves?
Mercera?
I just really fast want to point out
Matilda
that if you
Mercera?
send
Is that
Travis
what it
creepy
is?
gifts and you tag at Talks Machina in them, I also have to look at them. Please stop.
Never stop. Never stop.
Do you really, though, Danny?
Please stop.
Leave Danny
I don't
alone.
believe that Danny
Travis
really wants
can
you to stop.
Probably take it.
I
Send him to
believe
Travis.
Danny
Send
wants
your
that to continue for the rest
Gift
of her life.
rings
Anything
The
critical or
ring
related, I
gifts
find it hard to believe she wouldn't
instead
want
of
to be
your
part
cock
of.
ring.
And hashtag
That is
Talks
exclusive.
Machina, don't add it.
Right.
This is a notebook. This is a campaign journal. This is a diary to a loved one. This is
Tusk
Vessel
Love.
for smut.
life.
It
It's a
is.
vessel for smut. So put your smut somewhere.
definitely
Tumblr is
Matilda
dead. Do you know what
Mercera.
isn't? Paper.
How come we're not discussing the title? Maybe that's been discussed before. I never realized.
Remember,
it.
you can submit
Hey.
to our weekly contest by emailing your GIF if you don't live in Quebec. Sorry, Quebec.
Oh, man.
To submit.
Still no
TalksMachina.com.
Quebec.
See if we can
Quebec
collect everything that
loses.
comes out of Quebec just to see it.
I
feel like it's
think
important.
Tumblr has a few days left, though, right? To
Yeah.
put all their smut on?
I think so.
They have
like-
until the 17th.
That's, oh man, just ram it in
Everything's
there,
been
guys.
getting
Ram it in
everything's
there.
been getting tagged as explicit.
Ram it on in, guys.
Scrum of smut. Smut scrum.
It's a real bummer.
Okay.
Liam,
Yes.
let's raise the mood by answering this question from Jordan Springer.
Fingers crossed.
What made Caleb ultimately decide to give blood with Ford? Did his own natural curiosity
Yeah,
take
man.
over?
Yeah.
He wanted
Yeah.
Ford to owe him one, or
I
was
would-
it a combination?
in my
of
case,
both?
I would
This
think
is a
yes.
multi-layered question and answer.
I want you to remove
I
a
was
layer with each
so
layer you
curious,
answer.
even though I said it many
Right.
times.
The first way I have to
I
answer
completely
it is
agree
not about
that
the
it was
characters,
probably
but
bad.
about the players.
Yes.
Travis Willingham is a mother-fucking troublemaker.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked over and I saw a twinkle in that man's eye that I am familiar with, that he wanted to do some dumb shit. And that is hard to ignore. So a little switch in the back of my brain went, totally fed into choices. All right, that having been said, I think that Caleb in that moment could see this man that he spent all this time with start to be tempted by power, which was always a thought that Caleb had, but he saw Ford not just trying to figure out his father figure or his past or what the situation is, but he saw this guy who seemed like, you know, like Liam talks about how Ford he could be evil, but Caleb doesn't think that. Caleb has always seen Ford as like an upright guy. And
But
in
he's
that
afraid he'll
moment,
be consumed by power.
married with Travis wanting to fuck shit up, saw Ford be tempted by power. And in that moment, he's very much like Trent, the man who molded him, saw a split second in time where he saw hunger in this guy's eyes and thought that it could be molded or bent for Caleb's use. And thought, I could take a risk here. There's a follow-up answer to this as well, or a follow-up thought. I could take a risk here
like
that will
that.
probably be okay. God, we were misguided. We were misguided. But I could probably do this and not end the world or anything.
And get in his good graces.
And we could pull short of whatever this is going to be. And I could have a new understanding with Ford and probably pull a favor out of this. I thought
That's
that in
what
advance.
yes.
Like, whatever this, he wants to do something here, and I'm going to facilitate it
Get in his good
and
favor.
have him be beholden to me for it. Those are Caleb's thoughts.
That's kind of
not
what I
Liam's.
thought. Yes. That's kind of what I thought.
It's not wrong so far.
It's like I thought the same thing.
my
I'm
head,
really
Percy's going
curious.
well
What's the
done.
worst that could happen?
Yeah,
That's literally what I thought.
exactly.
The same
It's
thing.
like Percy's
I'm
giving you
really
a little slow
curious.
clap right there.
I think it might be bad,
and
but
it-
what's the
and
worst
it
that
played
can
to his
happen?
advantage.
And we would have
And I mean,
lost our ship and
Ford
been
could murder
stranded in the
Caleb
middle
later,
of the ocean.
but
I
in
think.
this moment,
And
it was like
maybe worse.
I weighed some things, and
Some of us might have died.
and,
He was
I
saying he
risked
was really
something,
low on
and
life.
I probably got gains from that. And I'll follow up with the idea that Caleb, early in this campaign, it was very scaredy cat, very like stay back, because he was just putting his toes out, but it was always stay back. But ultimately, he knew he'd get to a point where
Call to
the
action.
things that he wants to do, and there's multiple things that he might
And he's
do.
going to need people to
He's
side
not sure
with
what
him
he wants to
when
do,
his
but he
shit
has a
comes
couple
out.
of branches of
So
things
you
he
wanna
could
start
do.
having people
None of
owe
those are
you.
going to happen unless he takes risks and earns big.
Hmm.
So there's no reason to play it safe after a certain point. Calculated risks, something that Caleb and Ford have talked about for a long time.
I agree.
Calculated risks.
Because his time
And
is coming.
If he
His moment
dies
is
trying
coming.
to do the things he's attempting here,
Then he wasn't ready.
that's okay with him.
Okay,
He
yeah.
is trying to undo something disgusting and terrible, and he's willing to put his life on the line to make it happen. So he doesn't do anything willy-nilly. He thinks,
I dig
well, this could be the
everything
end of
Liam
you,
has said
but
here.
it could get you that much closer. And that was one of those moments where I thought, first I thought,
I think we're about
Travis
at the
is on
halfway
fucking terror
point,
right now. But
ladies and gents.
in character, it was like, this could pull you closer to the thing you want.
Wow. Wow. Danny, I fucking told you I wouldn't answer that one.
Yeah, I know. You were definitely really
I told you
concerned
we weren't
about
going to
that.
get shit out of him. Let me ask you this,
We weren't gonna
Taliesin.
get shit out of him. He tells
Does
like a whole
Taliesin
friggin' thing from
also
point A
share
to
the
D.
same suspicion that Liam
NC&D,
does
NE.
about Ford being potentially evil? Not Caduceus, but Taliesin.
No,
Okay.
I don't think.
Because
That's
I'm
an old thought.
I'm
That's
a
an
little
old
bit
thought.
I'm kind of starting
pitched
to lean
this
a little
in
bit
the
in your
past.
direction though.
That
Liam.
it wouldn't surprise me if anybody
I will say that I
was.
think Caduceus and Taliesin have the same feeling on Ford, which is that he's
I don't think he
he's
will. But if anybody was going to go
he's
evil,
a moral
I could see it
person,
being
but not a
Ford just
good
based
person,
on
if that makes
his
sense. Like he is
backstory. And
very
what's happening. Like
perfect.
just
no,
the
and he
topic.
could go bad real easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's a good guy who could go wrong real. He's one bad day away from everything going
He's the
to shit.
wrong person pissing in his
not
ear to get him to
Ford,
turn directions, right?
Caleb
Like he could
being so traumatized by fire and having
I feel
killed
like
his own
he's
parents.
after Avantika, I'm like,
He's capable of some
He-
things.
he
I
makes bad
would like to
choices.
He
think
makes
he's
bad
grown,
choices.
and I
also
think he
that
has.
Travis is. We all know Travis is Slytherin, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that he likes. I you know, we're all trying to game each other a little bit, and I think Travis likes the idea of corruption, and the idea of a good man. I mean, either way, it's interesting, but a good man falling is something fun to play with.
Or that man who thinks he can walk that line.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
can
that's
he?
just
And like
as
that's
interesting,
that's
isn't it?
really always going to be a question of like I've got this, I've got a handle on it. And like, do you?
I'll throw another thing in here that I'm going to assume nobody's asked about. I could be wrong, but after that moment, like at the table, I looked pleased as punch. I was like, oh boy, I got a favor out of that. But Caleb was disgusted with himself at that moment.
really?
Yeah.
I don't
Tell me
recall
more about
that being
what
a thing.
was going on in your mind.
Possibly.
Well, I think that he
Is this? I feel like I'm
he
like
was a
extra
product of his
soft
schooling
now.
in that moment.
Maybe when I updated everything.
And part of
I'm
it was
now.
like,
Let me
yes.
go like this. Right, we're gonna go.
But
Hello.
most of them went,
Hey.
fucking piece.
Let me know if that's too loud. I think
Yeah,
now
it
that
could
everything
be.
reset.
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Instantly. Yeah. As soon as
I cranked
like
it
if
now,
we're,
so it
if
might
we're
be too
writing
much.
this right,
Maybe
if
I'll
this
go
is the
back to
story, if it's the film, as soon as they were walking out of there, he's instantly
Go
going
right
what,
here. That looks
why,
better.
what,
Wow.
why?
Wow.
See, I didn't. I heard everything you just said.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't
That's
have thought
true.
that.
That's
Oh
gonna
no,
be
it is
interesting to see
redlining.
play out.
Pretty bad. Maybe I was right. Let me just go right
Yeah,
there.
man.
We'll go
I
like
know.
that. I'm going to talk
Talesin.
really loud. All right. That looks
Tribert
all right.
wants to know, how did Caduceus feel about suddenly realizing the seaweed in the cave was carnivorous? Did he just think of it as a cycle of life, or was he alarmed by the
I had to
very
update all the
unchill
equipment,
plant
and I
life?
think it changed the
Everything eats, man.
Yeah, no, it's
decibel levels on me.
trying to figure out. Like, I love.
You guys let me know
the notion
if it sounded
of this,
worse
of
or
this
better when I did what I did.
violent hippie.
If I should tune it louder.
No, he's very he's very comfortable with the notion of violence, and especially natural violence. There's no more appropriate way to die than to be eaten by. I mean, it's eaten by a thing that it's not doing anything other than sustaining itself. This is not some. There's no weird political, ideological issue here. This is not something invented by the consciousness of man. This is just a hungry thing that will in turn be eaten by something else at some point.
Right.
Yeah, no, there's no problem at all. He's aware of carnivorous plants.
It's part of the cycle of life. Then,
Yeah, no,
for
it's
sure.
it's unbelievably healthy by his line of thinking.
I think so far that's my favorite part about Caduceus is that everybody else in the group is like the traditional Western European concept of life and death and morals, and this is something that's not that.
I tried to veer him away off that path, and to the best of my ability, and build something that it's a little odd in this setting, but I think it's working well for this kind of character. I don't think I could have played this nice and moral of a character in this group of people without an enormous amount of dissonance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a lot to just pretend that he was fine with everything.
Liam always has like
Feels
a
like an entirely different
expression on his
culture
face,
than
like
all the rest of the group.
he's got like his mind's
By
always going. Like he's
I
always
think
got
you're
something coming.
playing it quite well, sir.
Thinking about something.
I'm enjoying him.
What do you think, Henry?
What do you think, big boys?
Henry misses Molly.
I
He's
feel
so
like
sleepy. He does miss
fan
Molly.
art of the week's got to be coming
She'd
soon.
feel you, Molly. Cup.
Fabulous.
I saw Brian take a look over.
Oh boy.
Liam,
Yes.
rescue us from the lawsuit from that song coming up. Expired Sunshine. Travis and Ford seem to have put a large amount of meaning on the joining of cut hands.
Yeah.
Did Caleb Liam also put the same kind of significance on that act, and why not?
Liam is irrelevant. Caleb,
Never.
in this moment, it is Caleb saw no significance to blood cut palms touching other than the fact that it was obvious that Ford did.
Okay, so that was okay. So that's another piece of that. Yeah, you manipulative motherfucker.
Oh, I miss this. I miss this so much.
Caleb likes Ford a lot,
Yeah,
but still.
yeah.
But still.
Ooh, what if it was the touching of flames? Would he have been more?
The touching of flames.
All right, let's see. Which one of these do I want to ask you, Talesin? What do you think, Danny? 10 or 12?
12.
Wow,
Let's
that's
see.
deep, huh?
Oh, I like
think
this.
10.
Let's do 10.
Yeah.
Jumanji Costco, of course.
Jumanji Costco.
Of course.
Oh,
Talesin,
it's
we got
actually
to
the
see
name.
Caleb and Ford make some interesting
there's two
choices this week in
eyes.
terms of how far
Jumanji,
they're willing to push
two
the
eyes
boundaries of
Costco.
curiosity. How would
Why
Caduceus
two
feel knowing
eyes?
that they participated in blood sacrifice
interesting
and
choice.
the blood pact?
The blood sacrifice
Is he
itself.
familiar with this shit?
What the blood sacrifice and the blood pact and
Yeah.
that whole thing. I'm still waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm finishing giving Matt all of the notes on the weird religion I built for this character so that he can approve it before I can really comment on his feelings all the way across the board on this. But yeah, no, it's good I didn't see this. This would have not sit. I mean, more than anything, Caduceus would have been really. It's not the blood that would have bothered him, but that he felt that it was obvious that this thing should not be meddled with, and that this thing was attracting some very negative energy that was not appropriate. The one thing, the one thing that people who worship the Wild Mother and have a big deal with is that there is a cycle of life and death, and you kind of have to abide by it. And this thing is obviously perverting that. There's fucking ghosts
He doesn't
everywhere.
like you
And,
tampering with
this thing is
nature.
the most obvious culprit for
Dark magic.
causing this
Although,
real.
I mean, I guess
negative
he's
impact on the
preventing. I was
balance
going to
of
say he
nature.
has
And,
abilities that
and the
contradict
idea of
that, but I
just
guess
trying
technically
to activate
not.
this thing that is literally haunted by dead people who are trying to eat you is
Unless he
is
uses it to
dangerous,
keep nature in
offensive.
balance, because you
Yeah,
could
would
use
not
it
have
to
gone
keep
over well.
nature in
Yeah.
balance.
Wow.
I'm really glad he didn't see it. It would have.
This campaign
that makes
is so
sense.
gloriously messy. Like last
It is,
campaign,
it is.
there were definitely disagreements and disputes among the members of the group, but there weren't really many secrets. There were some, but not many.
No.
Percy did in the beginning. That's really the biggest instance I can think of. But this group, all of
Rock
them.
and
Percy.
fight was a pretty big one.
Yeah.
I'm
Definitely.
not saying that. Yeah,
I'm going to
this
talk
is
because I
interparty
think they're talking about
for sure.
other
But
Vox
there
Machina
are
related
secrets
things. So
and duplicity while they
I think
all
he
enjoy
avoided
each other's
some massive
company. It's
spoilers.
interesting.
We knew about
and
Percy.
It can
obviously.
only play out messily. It's not necessarily going to be terrible for the group. I think
No,
that
but it is gonna be-
It'll be messy, which is
And-
just like.
And the minute that Clay has things that the minute that we come across the things Clay wants and that he actually has his needs come into the forefront, that's going to be interesting to see how people deal with that.
What are his needs?
I think the Nine
What
is
are
all like,
his
why is this
Yeah.
dude? We are terrible people. Why is this sweetheart with us?
He's going to need.
I assume
I'm
there's-
curious
Liam
now.
assumes there's a reason.
There is a reason.
Right, but everyone,
There is
but
a
the
reason.
group.
Oh
is
my
like,
God! What is the reason?
No,
Sure, please stay. You're so helpful and nice.
but he's also doing some of the stuff that you're doing, which he is making, and it's not quite as calculated.
That got
but he
me
is definitely doing
thinking.
I'm investing in these people.
I honestly
with the
didn't
hope
put
that
much
I'm
thought
in turn
into
going to be
it. I
invested.
thought maybe we
I'm-
were just going to try to
I'm
find his
helping with
family,
these things. I'm trying to give
take on him an
some
adventure.
spiritual guidance in these things and giving some physical assistance in these things, but at some point there is an ask. And there was, at the very beginning, there was a conversation of, I'm going to need something from you guys.
You don't have to tell me specifically who, but is there
He's getting ready for fan art. He put down his
that Caduceus believes over the others could help him more?
He doesn't.
Or is it more of
know.
just the group as a whole?
He doesn't.
know?
He doesn't. He's very. He is a creature of faith. I'm getting used to that in my head, and is on a divinely inspired mission at the will of all that he worships. So he is trying his best to just read the signs, and do what the universe is telling him to do, and the universe is telling him that these are the people he needs.
Okay.
It's like a priest or a pastor moving to a totally new city in a new state and saying, all right, I'm going to be the person who guides this flock in this church. And everybody's got their own fucked up
Talesin, look.
needs
Welcome
and
to Deadwood.
desires.
Welcome to
Yeah.
fucking Deadwood.
No, welcome to
Can
Deadwood.
be combative.
But it's my faith
Yeah.
to help whatever group I,
love-
land with. And holy shit, look
like
what
the
I landed
minister.
with.
I love the minister in Deadwood.
You
and
know
I
that's who
definitely have
Henry's
him.
named after.
Oh, no kidding.
The minister in Deadwood was a real guy named Henry Weston Smith. Oh. And when we got Henry, the day I met him, I was like, he has the same personality as
I
the
can see
Reverend
that.
from Deadwood, so we named him after
Yeah,
him.
Henry
he just shouldn't be
Weston
there.
Smith.
I love
The
him in that
Reverend,
show,
the one
but he
that-
shouldn't be there.
I know.
I mean, I'm not going to go into
But
spoilers,
that's
but
not a
Deadwood
place
is
for-
one of the
No.
shows I reacted to on the channel.
Did you get a
Every
treat?
episode
He
of
got a
Deadwood.
treat.
Oh my gosh.
Every
Hey, let's
single
give
one.
away some more free shit really
All of
fast
them.
before we get to the last
It
round
was
of
one of the
questions.
first shows.
Up
Probably
next.
one of the first
On top of
5
three.
shows
Okay.
I
That
did
was-
on the
that was
channel.
actually, yeah,
it
that
was
was a-
The Wire,
It's fan art of the week.
Russian Doll, Deadwood,
Art.
Adventure Time. I'm
Our
pretty sure.
dad.
Hey, there's my sweater.
Don't lose your voice, Danny.
Sorry.
It's okay,
did
just
it.
take care of it. This week's fan art winner for Campaign 2, Episode 44,
man.
was sent in by Don
Fan art of the
Carlos
week.
at Don Dun Dun Dun.
Let's check it
Let's
out.
Look.
Dawn Carlos, look at that. Why do I feel like I've
This was
seen
posted
that? That's
today or
awesome.
yesterday.
I have
Oh,
a
that's
hat like
I
that.
know somewhere
I
in
have
the
a
world someone's knitting that
Cthulhu-looking
right now.
winter
Oh, I'm
hat
so happy.
that goes
I hope
over your
they are,
face
and I hope
just
they
like
send it
that.
to
It
me
looks
to wear on
very
my
similar.
In
Your
my
eyes go
imagination,
through. I dig
I was
it.
imagining something more
I am a
like
fan.
svelte, like a night vision goggles,
That's
like
way
Frumpkin
better,
was
though.
shrunken around my head, but that is so much more fabulous.
Do
It's
you
a
remember the
Frumpkin
retweet you
face
got
mask.
from who was it? There
It was a
I want to see
marine or
if they have a
organization,
Frumpkin
a
octopus
sea
shirt.
life
I have the
organization.
Frumpkin
There's a
shirt where
critter
he's a
working
cat,
there.
and I
I'm
have
gonna
the
after
Hobo
show, 'cause I
Wizard
feel like a
shirt where
putz 'cause I
Frumpkin's
can't
in
think
it
of
with
But there's
Caleb.
a critter at a
I don't have
marine
one of
biology
octopus Frumpkin. I dig it.
organization
Yeah.
who like has
The other day I
dipped their
had
toes
like
into our
a
conversations
pound
about
of
underwater
scungeel.
D&D
Oh,
shit.
and they had a
My dad makes
fascinating,
scungeel salad
feeling on
every
whether that this would have
Christmas.
worked very well. In
Yes.
fact,
And I had like
I
a
will
pound,
find it after
and
the
it's
show.
basically
Yeah, I'll
squid
post it, Dad.
octopus.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks everyone who submitted. Congrats to you, Don. You have won this Wenge dice fall with tiger
Wenge.
maple inlay. Now, Daniel, I'm holding up the winning item now.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're on my hands. Now, this, guys, it looks like 2 wormwoods in one, but
Yeah.
I guarantee you
What is that?
dog treats.
it's filled. Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow.
Dog treats.
Oh
that
my
dog
God,
just
it's
woke
filled
up.
with dog food. I would love it if this is the actual one, right? So is this person's
Okay,
gonna
I'm
get
drop
this
it in from
wormwood
the
thing and it's
wormwood.
gonna
Are you
smell
ready?
like dog
Are you
food.
ready? Are you ready?
Oh,
There you go. You got it. You got it. That's a good boy.
I would
Okay,
love it
dog,
if when they received it in the mail,
Remember,
they said
you
it
can
actually
submit
smelled like
by
dog food.
sending
Because
your
once
gift
you
or fan or two.
reclose it, those things are
Submit
pretty airtight.
at
It might
TalksMachina.com.
save the
Rules for
smell.
our contest are
I
available
would
at
love it.
Crickroll.com.
I'd be like, oh my God, I really got.
We've got
the
time for a
one
few more.
with the treats of the dog.
Liam,
Yes.
Treats of the dog.
Danny Spud 2. Caleb mentioned he had an idea of what the table did. Did he correctly guess that it would summon the storm? If so, was he intentionally risking the Squall Eater just to gain a favor from Ford?
No, a damn thing.
No, I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't think that it was like a red
I think it was
nuclear
just
missile button.
kinda-
I thought
yeah.
that there would be more.
As soon as he said it, I'm like, oh my
build-up
God.
and
I
steps
think he's
to it.
right.
think
And I
was
already
just,
thought it was bad.
Your ship is sunk.
Yeah.
But no, I was just.
Battleship.
Liam was just feeling egged on and could see that Travis wanted a tango. But I didn't think it was going into it, and I realized I'm a fool. I know I'm a fool.
I
No,
love
I'm
that
glad
he
you did it.
admitted that is why he
Me
actually did it.
too,
Because
me too.
That's
But
Dungeons
it makes
and
perfect
Dragons.
sense.
figured
I just
there would
honestly
be,
thought at the
more
moment he
buildup
was
or
just
steps
along for the
as
ride. I didn't think
things
there was so much
happened.
thought
I knew that
put
it was
into
connected to
because
the
it
weather
happened so
and
quick.
the sea. I just
Very
didn't think it
clever. I
would
like it.
just cause the toilet to flush.
I would have done everything the
Right.
same
Yeah.
way.
And
I'm just
Ford has
happy to
been
see
on
others
this
think
kick
like
about. He has been envious or admiring of Ivantika and her ability to control water, and he likes. I can see this. Caleb can see this desire to be even more in connection with the sea than he already is as a sailor. So I thought, well, shit, this is connected to the ocean around us somehow. We will learn a series of steps, or an ability will be allowed, or we will get to a new precipice after we press this. I didn't realize that just doing it was the motherfucking.
That's
Had
what
to
I
walk
thought.
to the nearest gas.
I didn't think it was the thing that was gonna
I did
be
have
the
I had
button.
enough water.
I thought it was gonna
water
lead to
spills.
something
I had
like,
some
oops,
interesting water
shouldn't have
spills
done
just in
that.
case,
All right,
and
let's
one
get
of them
out of
was
here.
We walk forever. So.
Man, where's
Oh.
that Keyleth wind walk now?
Oh man, I missed that.
But I don't regret it. I don't regret any dumb choice I've ever made on this show because
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Because it's a game.
Yeah, it's a game and it's fun as fuck.
Yep.
And it always
It's
resolves
at its
itself
best when
somehow.
everything is going horribly wrong.
Yeah. Speaking of undead earlier, Talesin, Seagull Arthur asked, Caduceus fears hates the
Seagull
undead.
Arthur.
Has he had any past experiences with undead that have
Yes.
led to such powerful fear? Okay.
I mean, he doesn't fear the undead.
But a reason to hate them.
Yeah, no, they're an abomination, and they are a perversion of nature, and they are a sign of everything going horribly wrong with the world. And he, by his very existence, is supposed to be smiting them out at every notice. Dead is dead. You are either alive or dead. You can be dead and come back to life, or you can be alive and you can die. But like, there's not any middle ground there. Anything in the middle is not
He's not
okay.
against resurrection.
No, that's just
Ah,
life.
okay.
It's-
That's what that was
it's
throwing me
that
off a
weird
little.
middle
Thank
ground
you,
where
Danny.
everything falls apart.
I was like,
Like short.
we have. I mean,
Caduceus is anti-shorts.
basically, you
heard it
just
here
can't be in
first.
limbo. You either have to be dead or
Anti-shorts.
alive. You can't be a
especially with socks
zombie.
and sandals.
You can't be
But,
possessed or controlled.
abomination.
You have to be fully alive or fully dead.
Tell Vinny that.
Good clarification by Danny,
Say
because I
true
was thinking the
things
same
about Vinny.
thing.
Come on, like you won't get us in
There
trouble.
are like look at Jametti. Jametti was undead, but see, well, he was
Of course,
very
he's in, like,
Vinny grew up in a
leery of
graveyard.
Jametti
but
though,
no,
and
okay,
Jametti
we're
was
back.
undead,
Yeah, no,
but
it's
he
like-
was functioning. So there is like a Like, I don't know.
There's plenty of ghosts, and his family had been fighting weird undead and issues. And
Jametti was very unique,
he's
though.
sitting
We
in a-
never
in a-
really
in a
got
haunted
an
forest for
explanation.
his whole life. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
tons of bad shit.
Liam.
Yeah.
MJ wants to know, after the blood ritual, Caleb looked back to
M.
Jester and seemed to be
Jaed.
gauging her reaction.
Yeah.
Was he concerned
M.
that she'd bring it up
Jaed.
with the others, that this might change her opinion of him or something else?
Definitely concerned about her opinion. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely concerned about it.
She was
Def-
going
definitely.
like, "This is the best trip
Yeah.
to sleep no more ever."
Yep. Fish sticks are on Tuesday. Definitely not friends with Jester anymore. No, that was not good for him. That was not happy for him. so many things going on in that one moment. He felt like he had a good, strong tool in his toolbox for the future, but one of the nicer things in his life was definitely tarnished, yeah.
Do you know what isn't tarnished? The beautiful picture of Liam single camera with the wonderful Christmas tree behind him. Zach, let's go back to that again. What's more wholesome than this?
What a guy.
Why are
what are we
Talesin and
saying?
I
What are we
red as
seeing here?
cherry tomatoes
It's
tonight?
that television. Don't look over there. It's not, that's not.
cowed you.
Zach, is that what
Why
we
don't I
really
see it?
look like?
Oh God.
He says no.
All right.
But I also heard someone ask him at the same time if he wanted another milkshake, so we don't know which one he is.
What was Talesin playing
The
with?
writing druid wants to know.
I think
What
there
does
was
Clay
something we
think of
didn't
letting
see or something.
Dashilla live?
He's a little upset about that. Yeah.
Stop showing me. Sorry, go ahead.
What does Clay think of? Like,
Yeah, he was a little upset that
honestly,
everyone was
we
like, "Are we just
got
dropping this? This
what
is
we
a
needed.
problem."
Go.
No, I mean like that
Oh,
was
yeah,
his.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not yelling at you yet.
I thought you were yelling at me because I kept mispronouncing Dashilla.
God, no, it's.
Sheila.
Yeah, I was a little.
Dashilla.
I
Dashilla.
could tell this was the source of a lot of problems here, and it was. We're just going to leave this thing with this altar and this whole room, and where everyone's fine with that. Like,
I mean, that we're agreed on. I don't think Caleb wanted to leave her.
we're like,
He had one hit
just
point.
yeah. I
But
mean,
how
like,
comfortable
running
is
I
he
mean-
doing
That he
this
did to
speaking up?
himself.
Everyone
How
knows
comfortable
the
is he
legend.
speaking up
I
at
almost
this-
feel like
still
you
this
know
new
better
to the party,
go
though, 'cause I
there.
would
So if
imagine
you do, it's your own
It's
fault.
not even
I
new
do
anymore.
also
It's not
get
even new
But
to
I
the.
feel
I
like
mean, he's
it's-
been around
if
for a while,
no
but
one
he's-
knew
it's not
about
even
it,
that it's not that he's
and
new.
like
it's just
random
that
good
it
people were
seems
dying,
rude
I
to
would
make a
have
fuss.
put more effort.
So it's the man.
I feel like
And
the
yeah,
only
it's-
people
well,
going
he's
here
also-
are
I mean, he's from a
pirates
but
looking
at the
for
same time, he
treasure.
was also the kid.
Greedy,
He has a lot of brothers
evil,
and
bad
sisters,
people,
and
usually.
he definitely was the kid who probably got less because he was not making as much noise about the things he wanted, and is still doing the. But you all know that we need. Why am I arguing? This.
Also, potentially, we're good guys here because this thing at the bottom of the ocean was just sinking ship after ship after
Yeah,
ship, and we
that's
were
true.
stopping that, and we're like, all right, let's fight. She ran. All right, let's just get out of here.
5 hit points left. Just
Yeah.
fucking gonna find a health potion, and then two people.
Find a health potion.
And then
Just
like
find
and then just
one.
not
Go to the
both
health
run off,
potion
and I'm like,
tree
what
that's in
the?
this fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, like he was having a bit of a panic attack. He was like, "Is no one gonna make sure that they're not?" What is
See,
wrong
my
with
thing
me?
was,
Being selfish
Yeah,
over
no.
here.
What
he-
if
he could not figure out what the fuck
we
was
followed
happening
her
at that
into
point. It
something
was-
else?
he
What
was-
if
he
we
was-
like
everyone
he's
started acting
assuming
like a crazy person.
that she just had 5 hit points left and all we got to do is take
Yeah.
her out? What if we
I
chased
love
her
Goonies.
down
That's why I also had that
and went
instant
into
up
like
spell. I was really excited
a
and
room
looking
of
forward to doing the
58
elevator
other
with
enemies?
punishment
I mean,
to
I'm not
everybody.
thinking
Just
that
to
would
let-
happen.
Okay, we're done.
But you don't know.
Little passive
And Caleb
aggressive.
was already like almost out again.
You have your seatbelt on.
Shit could have went bad, and we at that point were
Visit
out
your
of
lunch.
spell. Like we
Turn
used a
this
lot
spell
of
around.
stuff.
Turn this around.
I don't think it was a bad choice, but I do get. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it, honestly. I wouldn't have minded if we went for her, but I
Okay, our
also
final
get
question of the
leaving.
night
Final
comes
question
from-
of the night.
Parody. Yep.
Parody law, yeah. Everything on the show is a parody of Critical Role. This question comes from Malene Lund Stauergard, which is definitely a fake name to hide someone's secrets. Liam and Talesin. Now, this is,
Lund
don't look at the screen if you haven't finished campaign 1.
Stugard? I think it's
This is
Stagard.
spoilers.
Yeah,
Major spoiler alert
Stagard.
for campaign 1 plot point, described in the question below. On a
What?
scale from 1 to Scanlan's drug habit, how afraid are you that Ford is lying about wanting to open the gates for Uk'otoa?
On a scale from 1 to
don't think
Scanlan's
he's
drug
lying. I think
habit.
he doesn't know
That's
what
a
he wants.
massive
That's right.
spoiler of campaign 1.
Okay.
I
And I'm not even
wouldn't
necessarily sure I'm
imagine
against
that. I
it.
didn't know that Scanlan did
That's what
drugs.
Caleb saw in that moment, which is Ford. There's what Ford tells himself is the deal,
And then there's
and
the
what's
deal.
really the deal. And then Caleb saw, he thinks in that moment, what's really the deal, which is this guy likes the taste of the power, even if he's not admitting it
Agreed.
to himself yet.
Agreed.
Likes the taste
I
of
would
the
agree.
sword, too.
Yeah, clearly.
Likes the taste of the
Who
sword.
was the most power-hungry character in Vox Machina?
Percy,
Yeah.
Okay,
by far.
I would
sure.
agree. And then do you think Ford is out of this campaign, or do you think it's Caleb? Because I might think it's Caleb. I mean,
That's
I
a-
think it's
Based on the
also-
way he just
I
answered
also
the
think it's
questions,
not-
maybe behind the
not
scenes.
wanting Caleb
But
to
on
be
the
the most
forefront?
powerful.
Only because Ford. Well, I mean, like it's tough.
Caleb
because
is conscious of his
Caleb
hunger.
knows himself.
Ford is
Yeah.
lying to himself.
Yeah.
That's
More.
my problem.
Interesting.
And
I
Ford will
think
hesitate
Caleb
because
knows
he has
more about
illusions
himself
or not even
than
necessarily illusions.
Ford
He doesn't have a
does,
permanent.
as
he doesn't
far
have
as
the
what
strongest sense of self.
he's capable of
Yeah.
I think you
with
have-
supreme power.
It's
Although,
nice having a
look
goal.
what
You
Caleb
work
did
towards
with
it.
fire.
It's
I
nice,
mean,
Yeah.
it's close, but I still
Well,
think
falls into place.
because
Yeah.
Caleb is
Yeah.
in a little bit more control.
That's all the time we have for questions. However, during the month of December, we are spotlighting some of the few amazing Christmas presents that critters have sent us.
What are we
Up
doing?
first,
Oh, I
we
want to
have
say
something from Lauren Tuggle at Deja's Quiet Place. Now, this last week we showed off a really excellent sword that someone
oh,
had
that's
sent in
right.
for Travis.
Travis got that awesome
This,
sword.
my friends,
Oh my God! I remember this. I love this thing so much.
Oh my God.
Oh.
is pretty fucking cool.
Jester,
man.
it's like a
Daniel,
Barbie
I'm now
doll.
holding up a different
Get a
object.
close up on
It's
that.
like a custom
Look at this.
Barbie
It
doll
is
of
just
Jester
the most.
with the lollipop.
Freckles are really what.
Oh my God, she's got all the
I want
donuts.
one.
This is from Lauren
Delicious
Tuggle.
donuts. Laura
and
Tuggle.
it is amazing.
She's
We're
got the
gonna
little
give this to
backpack,
Laura,
the little
but as
haversack,
usual, I'm going
perhaps.
to try to
Spiritual
force her to let
weapon.
me keep it on the talk set because I love it so much.
Better one to talk set.
It's so awesome.
Maybe we
What did
can
they make
lean
it
up
out
against
of?
the
Was it
fire
all
pole-
custom
the
done, or did they
fireplace pole
take?
now?
I almost
Is it
feel like they
hot
took
up
another
there?
doll
I
and
don't
maybe
know.
painted
Well,
it blue.
I think it's literally
added the
The
tail.
rule
Yeah.
is if we put
I
it
don't know
there
how
and we
much
get
of
a
that is
close-up of it on
customized.
talks, that it has to stay there for good.
So
So
eventually take it out of the box, maybe.
No, the box.
no,
is
we
part of
will in a
it.
second. The box will burn away once it gets hot enough on the top of the
The
stove.
box will burn away.
Vinny was sick the day he ordered it. He actually ordered us a real stove, which I told him is probably against some of the. That's all the time we have for tonight, folks. Stick around for Talks Machina After Dog on ProjectAlpha.com.
Okay.
I would like
After
to thank
Dog.
both guests, Taliesin and
Sounds
Liam,
like starchy.
for joining us.
Starchy.
Oh shit.
It's rare you guys are able to make it for a Talks episode, and we just want to say that we're appreciative. Danny,
Never
I
again.
really appreciate it.
really
I
appreciate it.
appreciate it more that you guys were here when it was me hosting because that really, really helped.
That was,
But
yeah, I mean, what
That
what
was
better
only a couple
port in the
ago,
storm
right?
than
That
in
was like
between
2 or
these
3
two
episodes
gentlemen?
ago.
We're easy.
We should drink port next
my
time.
favorite
I
boys
mean?
to be between.
We should drink port next time.
Oh.
Danny.
Oh.
What?
I need to teach you the meaning of subtlety, something I have mastered.
Something you have mastered.
Something you
Subtle,
mastered.
like us.
I just want to fill up
Subtlety.
the battery graphic on your Danny Cam graphic.
Say
'cause
that a lot.
I know it's fake, but it's still giving me anxiety.
I want to see the charging logo next to it.
Put a lightning
At
bolt
least
next
put
to
the
that.
lightning
I-
bolt next to it.
I'm not kidding.
88%
Every time I
battery,
see
you
it, I'm
savage.
like, I know it's not probably real. I wasn't 100% sure, but I'm like, I'm assuming it's not real.
Episode 45.
It's never fully charged.
of Critical Role
Obviously.
Camping 2 airs this Thursday. Until
You
then,
gotta
don't
fully
forget to
charge
love
that.
each other, as always, and don't worry. It's almost
Stay
there.
tuned, my friends.
Stay tuned, my friends.
Happy New Year. It's not New Year's yet. All right, guys, that's it for episode 44 of Talks Machina. We got Liam and Talesin again. I could have sworn I heard Ford, aka Travis's voice in the very beginning. It must have been Talesin, unless sometimes there are other people in the studio. Danny made a comment though, like it's hard to get people to come on during the holidays, especially they have the baby. So I highly doubt Travis is there just watching when he's got a family and a baby home and it's the holidays. Like I said, unless he has to be there, he probably isn't just going to randomly sit in. And if he was there, I'm sure he would have been one of the guests or at least gave his input, being as he absorbed the orb. That is something we did not speak of. But I guess that's all. I mean, no, now that I think of it, we didn't specifically talk about the orb, but we talked about what we feel about Ford as far as power and whether or not he's going to be like controlling this thing improperly or something. Either way, they did give their opinions on how they felt about it. So I'm wrong about that. They just didn't specifically bring up the orb. I would have loved to see Travis's mindset, like his opinion, his whole idea of what is going on right now with all that. But obviously we didn't get to see it. I enjoy Liam and Talesin all the time. They always have great things to say. Liam had so much more going on than I would have imagined. I thought exactly what Liam thought as far as what Caleb did. He's saying this is what Caleb thought. I was thinking the exact same way, but I didn't think that is why Caleb or Liam did it. I was just like, all right, he's probably just going along with it, but I would have done what I did to get in the good graces of Ford, thinking that what is the worst that can happen, and the worst would have been pretty bad. So pretty awesome that that's where Liam's mind's going. He is looking to establish basically favoritism from people by doing little things along the way to get in their good graces, just so when his moment comes, he has people on his side. And that's pretty awesome that he's thinking that far ahead. I mean, he's not doing anything malicious, I would say. It's like, I don't think this will be anything bad if I do this for Ford, so I'm going to do it so that he might like me that much more and help me later on. He's not doing anything like evil or anything. It's just like, you know, getting in people's good graces by doing things you might not normally do, which I dig. Either way, I'm jumping in. I'm not jumping in anything. The ball is going to drop in an hour. It is 11 o'clock. I'm going to go hang out, watch a show, and have a drink. You guys, Happy New Year. If I don't talk to you before then, which I'm going to not, because this is it. You guys want to see more of what I do? Full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Person of Interest, the Patreon hour exclusive for every episode of Campaign 2. We're starting Vox Machina and The Last of Us in a couple weeks. Dozens of other shows, hundreds of episodes. Check it out. If not, comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.